In today's episodes, I have my friends James Zhang and Sunny Dougal joining me for a fun conversation over a glass of wine on their experiences in this real estate market. If you have any questions and you would like to know more, please share in the comments and do like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like these. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Salwa. In today's episodes, I have my friends here. We're going to have a conversation over wine about the current real estate market and how we're going to stand out and help our clients this year. Welcome James and Sunny.
Thank you.
Take over.
I gotta take over?
Yes, I'm going to be answering the questions. Let's just make it fun. Let's just ask me whatever you guys want to ask me. And as I come up with questions, I will ask you guys. But cheers and thank you so much for coming to do my podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
We are honored.
We are honored, yes. My pleasure.
Who's gonna take the first shot? You?
So, Sawa, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, you just had a deal closed. Mm-hmm. How do you help those clients?
I actually work with a lot of upsizers. So a lot of clients see my videos on Instagram about how if they have bought a home already a few years ago, this is a good time to leverage their equity and buy something bigger or move to a different part of the city. So they find me on Instagram and I help them, make their dream a reality of maybe moving into a bigger home, but also being able to leverage equity because not a lot of people are able to save that kind of capital, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if they buy real estate, and if they have bought real estate, if they have got their foot in the door, they're in the perfect position to leverage that capital and move on to a bigger home.
Definitely. It is a good time to upsize.
What about your last few closings? Are you working with a lot of clients that are brand new to you or that you've built relationships with them for a long time?
Most of my business is from referrals. And actually, I did got one client I'm working on right now from open house.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
open houses work?
Yeah, it works for sure. So it's my brother's listing. So I did the open house and I met this client. He and his family lives in the condo right now. So they try to upsize. So I passed his name and phone number to Andy. So he called the client, set the meeting at our office. And then, the second meeting is on Thursday. I think he's ready to sign to list his current condo. And then I'm working on showing a couple of listings to him and his family. So, it's been working. I mean, different ways of prospecting, right? Social media, open house, door knocking, all works.
Do you usually do open houses or this was a one-off?
I do open house. Before the pandemic, I just stopped doing open houses, during pandemic. And then I start to do open house right now. Yes, it works for sure. I've heard a lot of success story from, people that, getting business leads from open houses.
That's amazing.
Yes.
How about you? Have you done any open houses recently?
Yeah, I did. My last listing, which got sold over just after...
2 days in the market or something?
4 days in the market.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But I did work at open house. Got a couple of leads. But the house was beautiful and was priced right, and we were fortunate to sell it. The leads that I got, again, it's they need some nurturing, and they're not ready to commit per se.
Fair.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep doing the work, the activity. You can't just have somebody come in once and get a contract in place. But I have, to answer your question, I have done open houses, and it's a great way to really connect. You still have to do your due diligence because there will be a lot of tire kickers, in my opinion, that will be coming in just to
nosy neighbors.
Yeah, nosy neighbors per se. There'll be people who are not ready, who've not done any research. They've liked the aesthetics of the house, which will come in. They've never spoken to a broker.
Mortgage agent,
never ever. no down payment in place. Not everybody, but I've seen this where people are not ready, but they are wanting to work in over $1 million house. So
That's
so
a lot.
you gotta be diligent with folks before you take somebody on. So that's my experience. Of course, does it work? Like you said, it does work.
That's great.
Yes.
I've never done an open house, so maybe I should do one soon.
Yeah, why not?
If you guys have listings that I would do an open house, could do an open house, then let me
Yes.
know.
Sunny's listing. So Sunny,
Brampton,
I have a
right?
question for you.
Go for it.
How do you help your seller clients in this market?
Great question, James. Sellers or people in general, there is, in my opinion, two aspects to look at it. There could be either a pain aspect where they are troubled with something, or another, it's a pleasure aspect where they are in a good situation but they want to make their situation better. So me as an agent has to build that rapport, understand whether it's for pain or for pleasure, and then act accordingly. If it's too big of an house which they can't maintain, that falls in the category of pain. And if they are move-up buyers like your buyers who have a property but their circumstances are getting better, their family is growing, income is growing, they want to live in a better community, then I would help them that way. The fundamentals or the core will be the same, but me being aware of their situation is where it is,
Yes. So in current market condition, do you advise them to sell first or buy first?
See, my school of thought ideally is to sell first and exactly know what you're working with. Have I been in a situation where my seller has bought first? Absolutely. But they should be, what I would want to know, either I would want to buy for them, or if they've purchased with another agent, I would want to know what the purchase is for and what they can expect, so we can crunch some numbers to make sure that everything can work in sync. Because it's a bridge, if they've purchased something, then there's a deadline to where they have to, really move in. So this has to close. And with this market, you never know. As long as they are realistic, we crunch the numbers, make sure we are all on the same page. Yeah, absolutely. If they were to seek advice from me, I would absolutely encourage them to put their home on the market, exactly define what's going to be in their pocket, and then go for it to what they can buy. That's my thought process. That's what I would do as a seller myself, per se, leaving the agent aside. So that's the value that I would want to bring to my clients as well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think that until about August, I would be open to my clients buying first and then selling, because a lot of the clients that I was working with had like an image in mind of what they want to move into. And they were like, if we don't find our dream home per se, then we don't even want to sell, right? But I think now, the last 4 weeks especially, I would never recommend that they buy first. We should sell first.
Yes.
Definitely.
In my personal opinion, I would say it really depends on the client's financial situation and also the market condition. So for the client that I just mentioned, he want to port existing mortgage to the new house. So he did spoke with his financial planner. So he has 120 days, meaning that two closing has to be
Within 120
exactly
days of each other.
So our recommendation is we should do it, at the same time. We should actively look for a new home for the family, and also we will put
List.
the current condo on the market.
That's
So
smart.
we can hopefully right now it's every market is different. Right now Markham and Richmond Hill is like pretty balanced.
Yeah.
So they have options. And his expectation, the family's expectation is pretty reasonable. So it's very, very good client.
So what is the average days on market when you say balanced market in Markham and Richmond Hill?
So last time I checked, like, some listing, it took them like close to 2 months to sell it. Some listing, if it priced right, sell it right away.
Wow.
So that's why I say it depends on the market, right? Based on what I see, I did look at the stats for Richmond Hill and Markham. Like, if you price it right, yeah, it could go fast as
there
well.
are
So it's
buyers looking actively
there are
in that
buyers.
area.
Like when I did open house, it's nonstop.
Wow. I'm jealous.
Like people just are just
'Cause
sitting
I
on the
went to mine-
sideline.
Wow.
But
I
whether
don't even
you
have a
get
showing in my
offer,
listing.
it's different. But open house, you get noisy neighbors.
Yeah. That's true.
Different.
Maybe I should move to
clients.
Richmond Hill or Markham.
Every market is different. I think. Well, how about Brenton? I think.
Yes, tell us about Brenton.
Yes,
So-
Sunny is the expert
Brenton
for the
expert.
Brenton. Yes.
We'll start with the Toronto MLS stats. Average is about 20 days.
Really?
Yes.
It was 43 in June.
Based on the last month's stats, it's about 20 days. I've gone, like he said, it comes down to some properties that are priced correctly will sell within a few days.
Are
Versus
you
some
saying my properties are not priced correctly then if I'm not selling them?
good chances, yes.
Right.
But it depends on the where they are located, what kind of activity around is I mean, a lot of your listings based on me knowing is brand new communities they're being built.
Yes.
So I'm not talking about those.
So those
could
are
different.
anomalies
Yes,
then.
yes.
Got it.
They could take slightly longer, but
Yeah.
I'm talking within the core. Now coming back to Brampton, it's slightly tricky right now. It's the days on the market have gone up, but I still think there is activity. Prices, people who are selling are conscious of the price in a big way because of the unnecessary fear that's on the market. People are misinformed, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Consumers especially. And when you ask the prospect, this is what you hope for, when it comes to a seller, they don't know exactly what to expect. When you ask a buyer, they are bidding well below what it could be worth, saying it's a quote unquote buyer's market. So there is a lot of misinformation that's available, and a
Agreed.
professional should come in and provide value to educate them as to this is what is happening in the market, this is what you can expect to see, and case by case basis as to that's my take. Brampton still sustainable, high demand, that's always going to be there. So when the activity, we are still positive to year over year, and that's been standard across for all pockets of Toronto. We are.
Exactly.
So that's my take.
Yes. So last time I read the report from the Toronto Real Estate Board, it indicate that the price, like for the month of September of this year compared to last year September, the price gone up. Right? Just the sale activity has dropped.
Interesting. Wow.
Right? Sale activity has dropped. Remember we had a great month, like at the beginning of the month. At the beginning of the year, like, when the Bank of Canada announced that they will stop increasing the rate. And then for the month of March, April, May, the market was really active,
Very.
right? And then after they announced the rate increase in June, July, the market slowed down a lot, right?
Yeah.
So fall, summer and the fall market is pretty, like, pretty slow. But different market is different. But some market, maybe as the buyers described as a buyer's market, but some market are pretty balanced.
Yeah.
And right now, it's as Sunny mentioned, is I think it's the time that the seller and the buyer need us the most, the professionals, right? Give them advice, guidance on, pricing strategy, marketing strategy, days on market, what's, current, pricing trend, sales data. That's the time. It's a critical time that they need our advice the most.
Yeah, I mean, I think since I've only been in the business for 2 years, I don't think I've ever experienced a balanced market. So this is very, very strange to me, and I don't know how to navigate it.
I've heard a lot of my colleagues, telling me that their listings has no showings.
Yes,
right.
exactly that.
So
I'm shocked.
Yes.
Like, why isn't my broker bay notifications popping up like they usually do? That's so
to be
strange
honest
to me.
with you, I have a client. He owns a condo, a rental, property in downtown Toronto.
Okay.
So I happened to lease this unit. The tenant just moved out yesterday. We put it on the market 3 weeks ago. Even the rental market has slowed.
Really?
Right, it's market are changing. So I did call the agents who booked the showing to ask for feedback.
Yeah.
So 2 reasons. One, the rental market did slowed. Second, right, is that his feedback, is that from the tenant's perspective, this building is pretty new. It's rent control exempt. So some tenants are looking for, rent control buildings.
Got it.
So this one is a pretty new building. It's rent control exempt.
Yeah.
So it might take some time to get a lease.
Well, that's rare. So if you're looking for something that is not rent control, it has to be older than 2015, right? Or 2018?
18.
2018.
Yes. Yeah.
That's going to be hard to
Yes.
find. So good luck.
But in a hot rental market, they have no choice. But right now, I think due to current interest rate, right,
Yeah.
a lot of investor, rental units, they are on the market right now.
Yeah.
Because there's interest rate is high, and then the payment is it could sometimes
Almost unaffordable. Yeah.
yes. So, I mean, it's with regarding to your listing, I think just have to, educate and advise the seller. Right now, it might take longer time to sell.
Yeah.
And price, in terms of price, gotta be accurate, reasonable, right?
Well, at the 50 or 60 day mark, like days on market, I had to have a conversation with my clients about their motivation, and to do right by them, those got converted to leases. So one of them is actually leased already. So we're very lucky because my clients aren't paying money out of pocket to maintain these mortgages, right? So we
Yes.
had to come up with a backup plan and say, you know what, let's lease it for a year and then we'll revisit next year.
Why not? Just as long as
Yeah,
you
as much
are
as I would love to sell their home, they were hurting.
exactly.
But leasing was pretty easy.
I think you
thank
did the
God.
right thing, because by having clients' interest at the heart, keep the relationship. The business will come naturally.
Absolutely.
And also at this critical time, communication with clients is very important. Just
Yeah.
make them aware that if there's showing or there's no showing, about the current market data,
Yeah.
if the reason sold, what's the price being sold. They might have to adjust on the pricing strategy.
Yeah. So let's not call it a price reduction. Let's call it a price adjustment, right?
Yes, make adjustments.
One and the same thing. It doesn't matter.
It just has a negative connotation to it when you
Yeah.
say price reduction.
Well,
Adjustment. Price adjustment.
Price reduction would be primarily used in my head if we suggested a price and the seller suggested or insisted that let's try my
With their
price.
higher price.
Yes. And then we would use this is where it is on the
Yeah.
30-day mark. If you don't get X number of offers or so many showings, then we
Then we
have to
change the price.
Yes, we change the price.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Like guidance and communication. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you who are experts in dealing with buyers.
Right.
People who are have seen you or have relationships with you. Um, Somebody says, I have about 150,000, 100,000 that I want to buy my home, or what would you recommend? Would you recommend them resale? Would you recommend them pre-con? What would you do?
I mean, everybody that watches my podcast probably knows this answer. No to pre-con. If you have $150,000 and if you don't want to buy a primary residence, which in this market I would totally recommend, let's split the $150,000 and buy 2 investment properties that are going to grow over time. The rental market is pretty good. So I would recommend buying a condo in downtown Toronto about the 550-ish mark, and then also buying a smaller home away from Toronto, like Hamilton or Niagara Falls. So you have an asset that's a condo, easier to manage, and an asset that is probably a townhouse or a semi-detached home away from Toronto. The appreciation graphs for both of those properties are kind of different. So you have like your eggs in different baskets. And that would be my dream. Like if I had $150,000 right now, I would do that. Because condo sellers right now are willing to sell at whatever price because they're not able to make that cash flow or even break even.
Nowhere close.
So if you are in a capacity to put a 20% down payment and buy a condo, now is the time to do it, for sure.
Agree.
Your strategy?
Yes, I 100% agree with Salwa. Right now, it's the time to invest in the condo. As I mentioned earlier, due to high interest rate, a lot of investors are selling. So my philosophy is, like famous Warren Buffett, you have to be fearful when other people are greedy. You have to be greedy when other people are fearful, right?
Love that.
So it's a good time to buy. Timing is important yet. It's hard to say, right? If they keep the interest rate high for longer, then maybe it hasn't bottomed out yet. But however, nobody has control over interest rate, right? And then if the Bank of Canada, sees that people are selling, experiencing the payment shock, they cannot afford their own place, I think they might have to cut the interest rate early, right?
I hope so.
So timing is hard to control. I think planning is the key, right, for investment. If you have the down payment, if you can afford the mortgage payment, I would say, definitely you should start looking, shop around. If you can get a deal, buy it.
Make a move.
And then, of course, you have to make sure that you can afford the monthly payment. So in terms of interest rate, you can always go with shorter term or variable for now, because everybody's forecasting that the interest rate will come down sometime next year.
Next spring, next summer.
Right?
Yeah.
If the interest comes down, it'll make everything more affordable. And then a lot of buyer who's sitting on a sideline will jump into the market. Then everything will start all over again, right? Bidding war, stuff like that. So
Can't wait for that
exactly.
to happen again.
But I mean, eventually it will happen.
Yeah.
We just don't know when. So instead of waiting, why not start looking and see if we can find a deal,
Take a risk.
right?
Yeah.
But if you do the planning first, there's not much risk, because as long as you can afford it, right? You don't have to sell it.
Yeah.
There's no risk. But 100%.
What do you think?
So, there are few challenges that I am facing when working with people who are not sure if they want to. I've had several conversations with people who are considering making a move. They've got 100, 150, 175. So they start off the conversation with pre-con.
Ooh.
And then I have this conversation, okay, why pre-con? Why did
Yeah.
you think this? Oh, we heard about this project selling, and so on and so forth. I said, okay, it's going to close in this many years. I said, what if it takes additional years? Then what happens? Oh, I didn't know it could take longer. Then, we, let them know about some affordable pockets. Let's say if they are in the Toronto vicinity or in the GTA, then we suggest uh, Durham region, for example, which is a slightly
Love
more
Durham region.
affordable. You mentioned Hamilton, you mentioned KW. Some challenges for people who are associated with the corporate world, because I'm told a lot of these hybrid models are going away and people are being forced to come to the
Go
office.
to the office, yeah.
So that's one of the aspect where I personally preach, buy something where, in case, even if you want to do pre-con, no problem, but buy something that you can control, because when it comes to closing time, at least you can take advantage of moving into the property, worst comes to shove. Don't have that strategy where I'm going to sell it on assignment and exit. To answer your question, I'm trying to figure out or navigate based on case by case basis. If pre-con, where they started, does that make sense for them? Does it benefit, provide value according to the situation? The other aspect to it, when I suggest resale, stress test is between 8 and 9%. And
pretty
even
high.
with a young couple who's making good money, even they are struggling to qualify because they are so used to that condo lifestyle that they don't want to settle in for something that's older.
Yes.
As a professional, we try to, you say this a lot, I've heard you say this, and I always think of you whenever I say this line is to, your first home is never going to be your perfect home. It's going to be a great start to you building wealth, passive wealth. You're going to be making something for your own self. So to answer your question directly, I'm between two lines because I am still trying to figure out on case by case basis as to how to navigate this effectively, which is fruitful for our clients, the prospects that speak to us.
Yeah,
Does that
Yes.
make sense to you?
Makes sense.
totally. But if you had $150,000 to invest and I only gave you 2 hours to decide,
I need a minute or so. I am in a
you would not choose pre-con, right?
I would not choose pre-con. I have owned, full disclosure to all your viewers, I have owned a lot of, not a lot, but I have owned pre-con.
Pre-con.
And God willing, everything has turned out to be in time, and these were all low rise. And everything turned out okay, but if I had the money in the position that I am today, it will only take me a minute to know,
That resale is the right answer.
resale is the way to go. I just need to know what I can leverage. Can I split the money in multiple assets and make more money? Will a mortgage agent be create, or a broker? I recommend a broker. No offense to bankers who are great, but I personally have had better experience working with mortgage brokers because they have resources to, or access to multiple avenues of
To
shop.
find the best product.
Best
for you.
product.
Got it.
On my situation, as we are talking
Being
about.
self-employed, of
Yes,
course,
yes.
that's important.
And owning multiple assets, it becomes challenging. So I would want to know, it's going to be resale, but I just want to know where I can hold more leverage. Pre-con is not the way, even though if I am correct, your viewers, about 15,000 sales in the last month for pre-con, 5,000 low rise and about 10,000 high rise. So there's still activity. Pre-con,
But it's probably very minuscule compared to the last few years, months, right?
I think it was over 20,000 units month over month.
Wow.
Do you know these stats? Am I?
Pre-con stats, I didn't have access to pre-con stats, but
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, it depends. Like for people you just mentioned, like younger people who doesn't have the down payment, who couldn't qualify at the current qualify rate, maybe pre-con is a solution. Maybe, right? You have to, but definitely we've heard of many developers, went under. So you gotta choose the reliable, reputable developer, right? So a lot of what I heard is a lot of buyers are buying pre-com because few reasons. One is that they don't have the down payment ready yet, so they can have time to save, right? And then second reason is at current rate, right? If they buy resale, they have to close right now. The current rate is high, and then they all think that rate will come down, in the next few years. So maybe the market isn't that bad for them, right? That's their logic.
One point that I do want to add, just in case your viewers call for pre-con, I'm sure you'll have the conversation where if pre-con, we select a pocket and then we ask for, or we suggest few top developers who have a proven track record, that we can actually endorse and say as agents as to what we've been seeing as the past 5-10 years as to people who've actually done the work, promised and delivered, versus recently there's a big
So you actually have some developers in mind that you would comfortably endorse?
I have a few, yes.
Okay, that's
So it could be high rise, it could be low rise. That I would say yes.
Go for it. If
Go
that's
for
the
it.
only option, then
Yeah, and I have some that I would say don't touch. Have not been paid money
It's good information to know.
for years.
Oh no.
So, but again, I would let them know, and I would say, let's book a call in 7 days where you do some due diligence and see research on your own self and see if this is a good fit for you. And I'm sure if somebody reaches out to you for pre-con, I'm sure you'll be giving them the same advice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, for me, it's like, when people reach out to me based on the content that I'm creating, it's usually people that have already been sold that resale is the way to go. Because my
That's
thing
amazing.
is that if you do have funds lying around, you want to be able to see a return on that right away. There's no guarantees.
So I agree with you. Like resale compared to pre-com, it's safer because for pre-com, I've heard this project that didn't get approved, and then the buyers waited for few years
What is
and time wasted.
Yeah, that's not name the building.
Why
but
not?
yeah.
And also, or
something.
that there's a chance that developer might go under.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And also
So sad.
for other reason, maybe, because they postponed it for too long, the construction cost, labor cost, a lot of costs has went up. It doesn't make sense for them to build. So that's the risk. Of course, it's riskier than a
But when
resale,
that
that's for sure.
happens, do the people get their deposits back or no?
Carry on warranty, right? For a condo,
So
it's
they-
20,000.
I'll go after him. I'll have an answer.
Yes.
So their deposit up to $100,000 is protected in case they go under.
Only up to 100,000.
Yeah. So if somebody were to put
Like a bigger unit is usually more.
yeah, that would be challenging. That's why speak to a professional first.
Don't speak to me. I'm not going to recommend pre-con ever.
Well, in case she's not helping,
Talk
call
to
me.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you still get a referral.
Thank
we
you.
work
I
together.
appreciate that, yeah.
But just in case, we work together as a team, all of us. So in case
Yes.
we want to provide.
We'll be honest with everybody.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to provide a solution in case somebody needs any kind of assistance and they think we can, we are worthy of providing them the value, then we want to make sure that we take care of them. And from
Absolutely.
you being from the banking background and your expertise there, or you doing the upsizing thing, which you're doing phenomenally well. And I will try and do the best I can for sellers, or if it's going to be a little bit of pre-con, because I have some background doing that. So we just want to offer as many solutions to our clients as possible.
Absolutely. So for the upcoming months, the year is ending. It's November today. Shocking. What are you guys doing business planning wise for the next year, considering this weird market we're in right now?
Go. I'll go after.
My strategy will be totally different from Sunny.
Yeah.
So
You don't know my strategy, but
You can just read your mind.
You know what? It's totally different, but it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. Like we are different. Even my strategy is different from Salwa's, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing client appreciation, thing, right? And then I invite those past clients, sphere of influence to the office, provide foods and drinks, and then also I will touch those clients regularly, right?
Like that.
So keep the relationship. So referral has been steady, but that's one source of business, and the other source open house.
I love
right?
that idea.
And then attending those networking events. From I think all helps, right?
How
Different
long
ways
have
of
you been in
prospecting.
business?
For 4.5 years.
Okay. So that's pretty good, because I feel like referrals and repeat clients, it's only possible when you've been in business for 4 or more years. Actually, I was assuming you're going to say 7 or something. So 4 is pretty good, because I'm thinking I don't have
it's
that many
even
past
longer
clients.
for me, because remember
Mortgage.
Andy?
Oh yeah.
Andy.
Oh yeah, I remember Andy.
Yes. I managed his
Your brother.
post
Yeah.
past clients.
Love it.
So
Okay.
I have the database, and the relationships has
Yeah.
been good and working. So referral business has been steady.
So it's
upsize,
sustainable
investment
only
property.
because Andy has enough past clients for you to nurture.
Yes.
So I
For
can't
sure.
necessarily do that. I mean, I can, but not on a bigger scale where my entire year's production is only from past clients, right? That would be amazing.
It really depends on your goal, right? If you have a reasonable goal, a small goal like mine, it's pretty sustainable.
What's your small goal?
Right?
How many
Only
transactions?
I would say 30 and above.
pretty good.
Right? 30 to 50 range. There's
That's
good
not-
years and bad
That's
years.
not a small goal. That's pretty huge.
I don't know, but for some people they want to do like 50 plus 100 deals. I'm a pretty relaxed guy.
modest, okay.
Yeah,
so
relaxed guy talking to a relaxed guy.
I'm not relaxed, am I? Well, thank you. That's a
I'm
compliment.
relaxed. I'm the only one who's relaxed. Yes. So I mean, to me, different ways of meeting new people, prospecting.
Yeah.
Different ways, definitely different ways.
Okay.
What about you?
So I have my 2024 business plan set.
Thanks to Mike Ferry Coaching.
Yeah, of
Cheers
course.
to
Mike Ferry.
Oh, you are
Cheers to
here, then definitely. So, I have a few things that I want to incorporate. What I've done to this year. I had no proof of concept before this year because nothing was measured. And now that I have a proof of concept of what I've done to where I've sourced my deals, understood what my GCI is, where my business is coming from, I have better control of what the activities or where I want to spend the time to leverage. And so I have everything figured out. I have big plans of 2024 for production and other things. So again.
So by big plans, do you mean 30 to 50 transactions like him?
Yeah, 30 to 50 transactions if it is.
It's nothing for Sunny.
No,
He's
it
a
is-
machine.
Yeah,
Exactly, he's a machine.
Yes.
I am disciplined, but transactions will come with time.
Yeah.
I can only work from my skill set. I am not at the 30 transaction mark right now, so
Next year you will be.
I plan to scale it in a big way based on the processes that are going to be in place. So that's not a problem. If we so it can only go up per se. So that's where it is. Um, plus, we talk about my average commission is about whatever, but so it's substantial business.
Correct.
For
So
sure.
even at this point is substantial. So
Yes.
I'm very fortunate, and it can only go up.
Can only go
For
up.
sure.
From here.
Yeah.
And a lot of the more you know, the better you can actually use the resources to your favor, as to what has been working, what you need to double down, triple down, go all in,
Yes.
versus what you can add to contribute to your goal to becoming more successful,
Right.
or becoming the agent that you want to become.
Yes.
The agent of your dreams.
And plus, I am a solopreneur, so I am just by myself. I have support, whether it's Andy or Salva, or we just talk and share ideas, and so on and so forth. But again, we need to have more leverage and understand the marketplace a little bit better, use our resources to our advantage,
Yes.
and grow. So
Yes.
that's the plan.
Yes.
Again, we'll talk. I'm sure you'll have me over for more podcasts moving forward.
If my audience likes you,
Yes,
we'll have you
yes.
again.
Yes.
And also, this year has been a pretty challenging year, tough year for everybody, right? We only
been
had
weird, yeah.
we had 3 good months, like I mentioned, March, April, May, and all the other months are pretty tough and challenging. So I think most people are on the same boat, and then I think, as Sunny just mentioned, having activity is important. Activity meaning podcast, door knocking, phone call, networking event, client appreciation event. Those are our activities.
Correct.
So all helps.
For me, my previous year on paper was almost 2.5 times on GCI, but I'm fulfilled with this year's GCI because everything is in my pocket already.
Oh, right, because you were selling pre-con.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
the money is there on paper, but nothing in my pocket.
So
So you would consider this a better year.
Hands down, my best year.
So pre-con has been working for Sunny, right? And
In
also,
the pa- in the-
honestly,
in the past, it has worked, but my clients don't know because they've not had their units yet.
Correct.
But I don't know because I don't have my commission yet. So
Unfortunate.
but like I mentioned, I would say having the client's interest first it will work out fine. It will work out in the long term. I came from the banking background. When I just started at the banking, I know nothing about the matrix and the target, the quote, our sales plans, stuff like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know the product in our situation, know the market, and also build a relationship, build the reputation, right? And then if you have your clients' trust, you'll get repeat business, you'll get referral in the long run. It's a business. It's a big business. It's not a small business. So always putting the clients interest first, and then build a reputation. Build a strong relationship. I view this is the key to my business. This is my
Absolutely.
business model.
What
What
about
about you?
What was the question? I'm joking.
business plan.
I don't have a business plan yet, but I do know what worked this year. And a lot of it was, creating connections through my social media content. So the only goal that I have is to double the business that I did this year by creating more social media
Yes.
content, because it's wonderful that we're a part of Mike Ferry Coaching, but I'm going to focus on what worked for me and try to add some of the stuff that you guys do with Mike Ferry Coaching. But my content is hitting the right people and they feel connected and they're able to come to me. Like this week I had 2 buyer consults, upsizing buyer consults, right? So they have been following me for a few months.
Amazing.
So now I just have to be able to create the same kind of content and create this brand that people feel comfortable coming to me, because
Right.
everybody knows at least 5 realtors, right?
Yes.
So for people to choose you because of Instagram, it's like, it's the biggest privilege. It's a huge gift. I don't take it lightly.
You're amazing.
So I want to continue to do that and double my GCI for next year. Fingers
You
crossed.
will do it for sure. I have the faith
hope
in
so.
you.
I really hope so.
You will do it for
I
sure.
have you guys to keep me in check.
No doubt.
Just keep doing what's working, and if make an adjustment,
Keep
modify.
making podcasts.
Yeah.
Thanks, HS Media.
Yes.
Definitely. What you said makes so much sense, is to keep doing what's working, and exactly what I said. There was a common
Yes.
ground.
Yeah.
He mentioned he knew referrals. I mentioned that
Relationship building.
relationship
Yeah.
and JCI is, that I mentioned that, now I know I have a proof of concept as what has worked. So I will be leveraging that to, and you
So we'll just do
mentioned
more of what we're already
exactly.
doing.
So social
Yeah.
media has worked for you, and podcasts and content and so on and so forth. So just leverage what is working, because that becomes a quote unquote system. And you just can add to these systems to net wider audience, touch more lives, provide value to more people.
Yes.
That's the essence.
Everybody's operating model playbook is a little bit somewhat different, but I would say don't change what's working, just change the things that's not working. Change and copy, update, make it better, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take little things from you guys and
We
add
all learn
to
from
it.
each other.
Exactly.
We all learn from each other. Yes.
Exactly. Like client appreciation is a great idea. I think I'm going to totally do that. Door knocking, I don't think so.
That's okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
That's
Then
okay.
do
Discipline,
open
yes.
house.
Discipline,
Do open house.
absolutely.
Exactly. Discipline is the
Open
key.
house,
It's
yes.
the key.
Yeah, to do the
Discipline.
same thing
Do
every
whatever that
day,
you're good
I
at
learned
it,
that
and then
from
do
him.
it constantly.
Correct.
It's discipline.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? Consistency.
Absolutely.
Basically, you mentioned door knocking. No, that's perfect. And now, if you were to ask me, can I make content like you do? No chance. Not
Why not?
not at the level that you do. But
You used to.
yeah, I mean, I could, but I think I feed off the energy when I'm talking to people face to face. That helps me, show my best.
Got it. You like that face-to-face interaction as opposed to video.
Exactly. And video will, for example, I am in my listing video. So I do believe in the power of video and showing face and building a brand.
Yeah, but not to generate business.
I mean, to generate business, but I quote unquote don't rely on that to be my primary source per se.
Got it.
Can I implement it? Should I implement it? Of
Yes.
course, it's on my list to do it.
Yeah.
To be better, to be in the face of more people. Yes.
Yeah.
And thanks to you to be able to give us the opportunity where we have been using these clips or HS Media's clips to
Yeah.
to
Show
post,
your clients
yes, to
who
show
you
your
are,
client,
what you're
because
about.
some people may not want to speak to us out of the 77,000 agents, but the power of internet has the resources to touch more people that I may not come across door
Yeah.
knocking or in my cold calling or traditional ways.
Yeah.
And I am open to that. I want to be doing the best that I can. So, but will that be a predominant base? No.
Yeah, like our coach says,
Yes.
right? Social media is wonderful, but it can't be like a reliable, sustainable, measurable source of business all the time.
Exactly.
It's one of the tools, but it can't be everything.
It's different pillars that we have to rely on and build all the pillars collectively to have a bigger outcome.
Yeah.
Serve more people, earn more money,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
But it is kind of magical in the sense that, like, sometimes I get so caught up in becoming viral on social media that I will see some videos are like, oh my God, I hit 40,000 views. But on some videos, I hit like 3 or
Yes.
4,000. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God, I only hit 3,000. I'm like, what? But think about it.
Just one video.
3,000 people saw you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just... Like, if I was just doing door knocking in one day, could I hit 3,000? Could 3,000 people see me?
And also,
Probably not.
I want to
So-
know, what's the most viewed video that you post,
Almost 300 something thousand.
right?
Yeah.
a lot
That's
of
just
viewing.
one. So I
a lot
have
of viewing,
over
right?
10 million views right now.
A lot of view.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's working for you, and cold calling, door knocking has been working for Sunny.
Yeah.
If it's working for you, don't stop it. Double
Yeah.
down, right? Consistency is the
But
key.
how can he double down if he's prospecting, like, if he's knocking like for 3-4 hours? What is he supposed to do? Knock for 8 hours? Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in that kind of double down.
I can give you the answer. So, for example, for me to touch 3,000 people takes me 15 days.
Yeah. Okay.
So that-
Let me tell you another way.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've met a Bell guy. He's really, really good, right? If I'm like focused on this business, definitely like I will hire people like from company like Bell. They have employee or contractor going from door to door.
Yeah.
I will hire those people and train them to at least get the appointment for me, right? Why not?
Interesting.
I mean,
That's a great idea.
that's my. I mean, there's different ways to do business, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if
If Sunny was to have a door knocking team.
why not? Door
Yeah.
knocking team, setting up the appointment for him. Maybe he was just doing the call to filter to qualify the client, right?
Pretty cool.
I mean, something that you can think
Yeah,
about
something
it,
to
right?
think
about.
But
He has
for
some
now,
great
he
ideas.
want to sharpen his skill.
He is the face
I know.
of his business,
Exactly.
right?
He is. He's
yeah.
an amazing guy. This is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, great idea. I've thought about this, and so that falls under the category of passive. But would I try it? Again, I'm open to trying everything. But the crux is two people reaching out to the same prospect, and if they are not effective to where they want to be, then the whole purpose is lost.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yes. So
You want to hire somebody as good as you. That's the key.
Impossible.
You don't want to hire. You don't want to hire
okay.
somebody for the sake of hiring.
So-
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I say I experienced a guy who's really good. He's amazing. Like he's almost like Sunny, big smile, very good, passionate. Amazing guy.
Wow.
You don't come across people like that every day.
It's true.
That's why it's hard. But if
it's
you come,
doable.
so that's why if sometimes if you come across a guy like that, you have to capture the opportunity. So know this person, right? It's
Interesting.
amazing. But I mean, for just hiring for the sake of hiring, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying he's right. You have to hire somebody who's really good as him.
Yeah.
That's good for
Or
sure.
don't hire.
Or don't hire.
Yeah.
The purpose of me doing this is to be in the moment, because I've seen the other side of the spectrum with pre-con, where you are behind a screen or on the phone. I was doing the same thing, reaching out to so many people. I see a lot of agents preaching the ISA route and so on and so forth to book appointments. The whole point is, I understand that the leverage will bring dividends, but thank you, sir. The whole emphasis for me is to be present in that moment to make a difference in somebody's life for real estate.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yes.
until I am at a different stage of my career where I have strong, trained buyer agents, whatever kind of agents who know what my core beliefs are, to be able to be in that situation, that's a different story. And not saying ISA and anything else is not good or all, just for clarity.
Yeah.
But this is what hits the spot for me at this point of my career. When you do a transaction, you just want to, the reward close to closing, when you take an appreciation gift, and the words that you hear, those are so fulfilling. Of course, money has to be made and everything relies on money, but just those kind words, there's no value to those.
Agree with you 100%. Like I can see the big smile on the Salva's client when you took the picture, when you deliver the closing gift. Good for you.
It's
I
so
think they
fun.
appreciate you so much.
Yeah, they do.
And she, from based on just talking, she really goes out of the way to help her clients and will stress when they are stressed. Just her
Cry with
personality.
them.
Yes.
And you cannot put a dollar sign to
There's
that.
no dollars.
It's
I keep
priceless.
telling her, and there's no dollar sign to this where you feel the same emotions to where your client is. The recent situation where the client was in a difficult situation and she was going through the same emotions as the client, helpless to what the situation was, because sometimes in real estate, as we all know it, the situation has to play its
Out
own.
of your control sometimes.
It has to play its
Yeah.
own self, because
Yeah.
somebody else is buying the condo. They are wanting to, decide or being undecisive as to not make the move. Not much. The listing agent, which was her, to do much, but to sympathize and feel that emotion for the client says a lot about the agent that she is. So.
Amazing. So good for you.
Thanks
so
so
I
much.
think I'm confident that you'll do really well in this industry, and then for sure. I mean, and like I say again, if you have the client's interest at heart, everything will follow.
Amazing. And if I have friends like you guys will keep me in check, right?
For sure.
Amazing.
Not
Yes.
quite. But, yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming and doing this really fun episode. I really appreciate your guys' time. And if you guys have any more questions about our work and how we can help you guys, share in the comments. And please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.